See, it's ironic, like a lot of things in life, everything's backwards. This concept of awakening and enlightenment, it actually, I feel, causes more trouble than good. With certain people. And here's why. The mind starts to think, right? It's awaken. Whoa, I found the ultimate thing. Now, this is the ultimate good thing I need to chase. I need to chase this awakening. But it's the mind that's doing it. And the mind has this, like, concept of what it thinks awakening is. And here's the truth. There's like no awakening. Can I say like that? Like there's no awakening. In deep sleep, do you like, are you there to like judge your awakening or not? Do you somehow think deep sleep is less real than here right now? It's all not real actually. This not real means not permanent. Okay. It's relatively real. Yeah, trust me, I'm not going to get non-dual. You have this waking state, you have the dream state, where a lot of times it takes place in the astral dimension. Sometimes it can be just a purging of impressions you get, depends. Then you have, you can say, the causal dimension or deep sleep. There's like nobody there, man. So our true self is even beyond all those three states because those are still states. Well, if it's a state, there must be some space or some consciousness in order for that state to appear in, right? So the true, the God self, it's beyond all those states. Do you think that that self needs to be awake? It doesn't know anything about awakening. Even in causal dimension, it's not really like it is here in this dimension. It's only this dimension where, especially at this time and age with the internet, and now everybody's awake. Everybody can be awake, make videos. I saw some lights in my meditation. It must mean I'm awake. Oh, I did ayahuasca, and I dropped down into some real metaphysical state. I must be awake, you know. That's the negative side with the internet. Then you got the teachers filming their students when they're doing the session with them, like showing, like, look, I woke this person up. Yeah, I'm glad that they go to you. I wouldn't take their money. It's too much work. Like, okay, let's focus. Awakening. That's your true self. The one, I don't know what it is, because how are you going to describe it? It's the state or the space in which it's not a state, in which these other states take place in. If that's your true self, and if you agree that that self doesn't need to awaken, then can you relax a little bit about this, restless feeling to constantly try to get more awake and try to compare yourself to others who you think are awake, which just causes stress? Can you relax? Because wait a minute, like my real self can't how's it gonna awaken? These concepts are created for the human self or the individual sense of self. Now here's the thing that's missing in the Advaita teaching often. I don't just leave it there. That would be non-dual, excessive. I say, okay, but that needs to be realized or contemplated also. You see, it's both. Everything's both. Balance. You want balance. You don't want to be weird. So, but then you got this, because this level still exists. Something inside, because God put it there, you can't turn that software off. Something inside wants to keep growing and maturing in consciousness, keep expanding, but it never ends. This is the important realization to have. Even you keep your fervor and passion to awaken, cooperate with that, because it gives a nice experience on this plane. It's coded in us that we want nice experiences. You can't switch that off and say nothing matters. I mean, try it if you want. So the more we try to be more conscious and improve as far as being free of limitations or stepping over these limitations, whether they be emotional, mental, whatever, the more that we seem to transcend these things, the more joyful the experience is. And then you'll start to realize, oh, I see the purpose of creation. Because this ultimate state, it's not a state, this ultimate space, cosmic God, it needs some kind of form to like experience itself. Otherwise, God doesn't know he's God. So he steps himself down into all these individual differentiated forms. And then these forms go on this long evolutionary journey to realize itself more and more and more and more. Can't realize the pure self totally because it's infinite. How are you gonna like realize something that's infinite? And you don't want to. I like what Muji said once. It's like eating a mango that just keeps getting sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. You can't find the ultimate sweet mango because it's always sweeter. It's a good deal. Let's break down what the real trouble is, though, seemingly. It's not the emotions, it's not the thoughts, it's not your physical limitations. It's the primordial thought, which God's responsible for. He did it. I, me, there's a me here, there's a me here. And yeah, it feels like it, right? Like there is. Like if I hit myself, if I do my own non-dual experiment and hit myself with the rock, I'm gonna feel like I'm here. So there's definitely playing a strong sense of an individual sense of self. But that's the so-called problem still. The problem's so-called problem, always is gonna be there though. Don't try to annihilate it or get rid of it. This is higher level advanced awakening perception, is to realize that this so-called problem is a necessary problem. It's a God-ordained problem because it gives the sense of existence. But this problem that there's a me, that allows every other problem to occur after that. Trauma and issues and, pain and all that, suffering. Because there's a me here to experience it. If I think it's me, well, then I'm gonna feel like it's me. Okay. So you can say that is what we're here to more and more transcend. Because at first, because it's meant to be, our belief in this little individual human self, it's all we know. When I was 10 years old, that's all I knew. Like, what do you mean? I wouldn't, yeah, this is who I am. You see, we're supposed to feel that for a while. Then, as time goes on, if it's your destiny, and because of life situations, it's gonna really, yeah, that's what really makes you start to transcend the limitations of human form. You'll start to contemplate on deeper existential spiritual principles. And you'll start to attract certain things, books or videos or teachers or something that's pointing to something beyond the human self. And then something in you is ready to hear that. The capacity now, you don't have to use a computer analogy, you don't have the old computer anymore that can only handle 4 GB. You're moving up now. Now your capacity, spiritual capacity, maybe 10 GB, 15 GB. So now you can actually handle these intuitive downloads that you get. And so then that hooks you. And you start to realize more and more, like, wow, the less identity or belief in this human expression I have, and the more attention or contemplation I give to this pure self, this is the ticket, this is the answer. You realize that. And so then that's your practice. And then you start to realize on practical level, oh, because I'm in a form, certain things help make this practice more efficient, or this remembering. If you don't like the word practice, self-remembering. Find whatever words you like. If you don't like the word God, say something else. Like, it's just so irrelevant. We're using words to point to something, though. That's why I'm using words. You're like, oh, I found, like, if I live my lifestyle a certain way, that actually increases the vibration of this human, organism. And then somehow it allows deeper realizations of my true nature. Oh, cool. Now, that never ends. You can always get more and more intuitive downloads, more subtle. You can always get more refined. The greatest masters on earth, they can get more refined if they come here. There's no end. So you can relax. Try to relax a little bit and stop seeing awakening as some final destination. Like where? Like what do you mean? What's the destination? That's why I used to make videos talking about it in the past, just for fun. I'm like, what frequency of what hertz of peace do you need to be declared awakened? How loving do you have to be? Who's going to measure your love? It continuously grows and expands. Cooperate with that process. There you go. That's my message. See you.